My whole world changed one day when I woke up one Saturday morning to some new cartoon. It was about these balls that would transform into monsters of all different shapes and sizes, and the characters would battle with them. There were even overarching plot lines that kept viewers invested and wanted to know what would happen next. I watched it thinking I was too cool for this Pokemon ripoff. But little did I know how hooked I would get into this dumb little series. I had to hard open this episode with a brief explanation of my introduction to Bakugan Battle Brawlers. And while the show is a topic for another day, I need to establish that I'm not watching Bakugan Battle Planet as an outsider. I am a longtime fan of the Bakugan franchise, so when I heard a reboot was potentially in the works, oddly enough, I was more anxious than nervous. I feel that myself and a lot of other people have been trained to fear the word reboot. And we have good reason to. There are so many reboots that fail to either live up to its predecessor or be its own thing. I know I don't need to tell you this, but it's important that you understand my mindset going into Bakugan Battle Planet. I was expecting changes, so I not only prepared myself in case Battle Planet went down the route of a bad reboot, but was also willing to accept changes to a franchise I love so I'm not hindered by my nostalgia goggles. But honestly, after watching these first two episodes, I think we're in good hands. Fair warning, these episode recaps will have very minor spoilers to the basic plot of each episode, so you've been warned. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Bakugan Battle Planet. From the way it's animated, the character designs, and it's even got a cheesy too cool opening that's low-key my aesthetic. Bakugan Battle Planet opens up with us being introduced to Dan Kuzo, the new version of Dan Kuso from the original series, and him telling us about the Great Collision, the event that caused the Bakugan to appear on Earth. Dan, with his friends Winton Styles, Leah Venegas, and their loyal dog Lightning, go to investigate the site of the Great Collision on its 12-year anniversary. The group broadcasts videos online as the Awesome Ones, but on this night, an event happens that seems very similar to the Great Collision, and the characters are introduced to their partner Bakugan. In the second episode, the Awesome Ones show the world their discovery of the Bakugan through their internet videos, but this ends up attracting one of the new antagonists of the show, Magnus, to challenge Dan to a Bakugan battle. The Awesome Ones have to team up to take down Magnus, with Magnus deploying 2 more Bakugan to fend off Winton, Leah, and Lightning. By the end of the brawl, more brawlers show up to break up the fight and warn the Awesome Ones to stop posting about the Bakugan, but the Awesome Ones refuse to back down. Man, I had such a good time watching this for the first time. Hearing Drago's original VA and even Drago's original roar from the original show, oh, I was so giddy inside when that happened. I'm never really a big fan of mixing 2D and 3D animation, but I really feel it works here with the humans being in 2D and the Bakugan in 3D. That contrast gives the Bakugan even more of an otherworldly feel. I also was unsure about how I initially felt about most if not all the Bakugan being mechanical in appearance, but it's really grown on me. Speaking of the Bakugan, I love all of the main Bakugan. Dan obviously has Drago, or Dragonoid for those uninformed. Winton has a big T-Rex named Trox. Leah has a graceful unicorn Pegasus combo named Pegatrix, and a big gorilla friend named Optimus Prime, Gorthion. Its name is Gorthion. And finally, even Lightning has a Bakugan. A dog brawls with a 3-headed Cerberus Bakugan named Halcor? Yeah, this is my kind of show, alright. But my favorite currently has to be Nilius, the Bakugan belonging to Magnus. This is most likely because I was the biggest Hydronoid dork, and I still am. The show ended up having a lot more humor than I expected, and while some of it really didn't land, there's one joke in the first episode that had me erupt into laughter. I refuse to spoil it, but I will say it involves Dan and the Awesome Ones discovering the Hexagon battlefield for the first time. Now with all this positivity, I do have some not so positive things to talk about. I do like the voice actors, but sometimes their deliveries on their lines felt a little off or too much for one scene. I do really like the voice actors for the show, and I do really feel it's more so a minor issue that will change over time as they continue to record lines for the characters. It's only the first 2 episodes after all. My one other big thing is pacing. Each episode for the original show was about 25-30 minutes, but Battle Planet has opted for 11-15 minute episodes this time around. I'm noticing this a lot more lately with cartoons, specifically Nickelodeon's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does this, and that too suffers from pacing as well. I felt at some points dialogue and scenes would go too fast, and not naturally. More in a, we only have 5 minutes left! way. I had a blast watching these first 2 episodes of Bakugan Battle Planet. For all the faults I saw, there were more things I enjoyed. There was a Bakugan Battle Planet reveal event this past weekend that not only had so much love and care put into it for its guest, the members of the Bakugan Battle Planet team seemed all very passionate about the product they had made. And I think that's super important for something like this. Well, Spin Masters, just when I thought I was out, you pull me right back in. Okay, I was never out, but I am very invested into Battle Planet. I hope you all enjoyed my 2 cents on Battle Planet, and if you did, Don't worry, this isn't the last time you'll hear me talking about this series. Have a great day, and keep popping.